gentlemen, my name is Mike C with C4OCRadio.com, and today we are here in Culver City, California. I am sitting here and joined with Pam Blackheart from Vampire Rockstar Clothing. What's going on, Pam? Thanks for having us up here today.
It is a pleasure.
Hey, so I'm looking around here and I'm seeing some great work smart. So where did it all start for you? Like, give us a little background.
Where did it all start? Okay. Well, basically, I started it. Okay, I'll go way back beyond me a little bit. So sewing actually runs in my family. My mother sews, my grandmother sewed, and apparently it runs all the way back. So apparently it's one of those inherited traits. Who knew? But so I started sewing when I was 5. My mom would take me to the fabric store, and they'd basically like, okay, Mom, go away. And I'd be like, I needed to do this, and then I needed to do that. And they'd just be like, and then they'd ask my mom, of course, for the money. And so, but I just had a feeling for it very early on. When I got a bit older, I started actually doing burlesque, and that was a lot of fun. I met a lot of great people, and not more importantly, but additionally to the great people, I ended up getting much more into costuming, which, you know, because I needed to have costumes that were really beautiful. So I learned that the fabrics, this sounds funny, but the fabrics kind of tell me what they want to be.
Okay.
Makes me sound a little crazy, but when I touch them and I drape them and I look at them and their textures, it kind of says, I want to be a jacket, I want to be pants.
It kind of speaks to you when you. Well,
it very much speaks to me. Yes. Okay. So they've just done this, and then I kind of got out. I had my son, so I stopped doing the burlesque thing a bit.
Oh, okay. Wait. What was your burlesque name? Come on, everyone knows.
Oh, okay. It was Belle Baudelaire.
Okay.
Belle Baudelaire was my burlesque name. Which was because I started out doing very classic burlesque. So the fans and the corsets and all the.
They were talking about the fans. We're talking about these long
feather fans, big
correct,
fans.
yeah.
I would make them myself because the ones that you buy were way too expensive. They were like, $500 to $800 for a set that was like that big.
Are you serious?
So yeah, so I would buy the feathers and the fan stays myself, and I would just make them. And what was great is I could custom make them to actually match outfits. So if I had an outfit that was, say, blue and white like this, I could make blue and white fans and orange and everything.
Now, is it difficult doing the whole between like the designing and especially like when you're making it for yourself? Is it kind of different when you're trying to like maybe lay something out on yourself or get whatever your own measurements and then applying it to what you're trying to cut and fabricate?
Well, the way that I make clothing is not. It's not really traditional.
Okay.
The way that so when I lived in New York, Bergdorf Goodman was right nearby.
Okay.
So I got to go by those beautiful windows all the time, and it soon became to discover that I would look at the clothing in the windows. And actually, it was weird because ever been to like the human exhibit where the people are exploded kind of, and you see all the parts and stuff like that in the exhibit, not like not a horror movie, not like a medical thing. That's what would happen in my head when I would look at these clothings. I would see the piece; they would kind of go like that in my head, and I'd be like, "Oh, I got it! I can make that." And then I'd go home and I just kind of copy what they did. So it just was there. It's like sort of heritage material just living in my brain,
Now, where do you get like your inspiration from? Because I'm looking around, I'm seeing things around me, and they're all different in a sense, but
inspiration. Well, I mean, these particular 2 motorcycle jackets are. These are these are the samples for a collection called the Elemental Collection.
Okay.
So they're all based on the elements. So earth, air, fire, water. This is the fire one. This is obviously the water one. Okay. It became a little bit more mermaid oriented, but they are water creatures and they do represent water. So that's,
these are beautiful. I mean, look at the work on this. The colors and all the designs that you picked to go like on this particular piece, just
Yeah.
I'm looking. Look at this. Check out the sleeves.
Even fringe.
This is.
I couldn't resist.
This is fantastic.
Yeah, and what's cool, this was fabric that I bought before, I ordered this fabric from Japan. This is from Japan, and this is from Japan. I ordered it before the quarantine happened, and it didn't come for 4 months.
Oh, no kidding.
So it took a while for the mail to come through with this, but it was well worth it because it's absolutely gorgeous fabric. And I'm sure on the camera you can't, unfortunately it does not translate that well. Most of my stuff doesn't. It looks better in real life because the gold there is actually metallic. So
we're going to take some good close-ups on this later so we can all blend this in.
Yeah.
But I mean, now all the pieces I'm looking at is it male and female
Yes.
for what the work that you do, correct?
Yeah, I mean, technically, men and women. I mean, it just, you know, you could be a dude that's really into mermaids. You know, you could be, you know, they work for everybody because it's a motorcycle jacket. A motorcycle is, you know, jacket is inherently unisex. So.
Can you tell me about that one piece behind you? That's
this
beautiful.
one. Yeah, so this one, I like the new kind of styles that I was seeing. They were casual, but they were like elegant. They had kind of a shawl kind of effect to it. I just wanted to do something that was just based on the leather.
Gotcha.
So it was more about the leather. And so I wanted something simple that would show off kind of, I wanted to look, I found this downtown and it was this beautiful leather and I waited until the design kind of came to me. And it's like, I love the sort of apocalyptic ideas.
Correct, yeah.
But I wanted it to still look like a $3,000 jacket, you know, and it's basically one of a kind.
Now, you do more than just jackets, correct?
Yes.
Like, and everything is pretty much cut. I mean,
yeah, I do purses. These purses are actually based on the bottom half of a Gibson guitar. Yeah. So the roundness, it's all leather inside and out. That's not cardboard inside. Keep making it have its shape. That's actually leather in there.
Quality on this.
Yeah. And it's printed calfskin. Really beautiful stuff. I love that. So I do that. I do holsters.
In fact, can you tell us about this holster that happens to have like a 6 on it? Any
Yes.
special
Holster
Can
purses?
you give us a little story about this?
Okay, so these holsters, I have my own. As you can see, I have my own that have my ankh on them. It's hence Vampire. So basically, these were created. I did these with Nikki Sixx as an inspiration. Oh. Yeah, and because he's been an inspiration to me in a lot of ways. I did my hair like Nikki Sixx for years. It just was like his personality just was a strong sort of personality, and I just liked that kind of thing. So I made this. Hopefully, at some point,
beautiful thing up.
I'll actually.
This thing is amazing.
Yeah. So it's inlaid with snake in there for the 6, and then it's got wings on the back, and then again more snake going down. Because those are actually the adjusters so that you can put it where it fits on you. And in the back, if your back is a little bit wider, you can unlace it and make it wider. So I've never met him in person, so, you know.
I mean, I know Nikki Sixx has inspired a lot of people in a lot of different ways, you know, music, writing, or as you even see here, you know, some custom work that it's amazing just how one person can inspire somebody in so many different ways.
Exactly.
And it's just great to see something like this come across because most people it's more on the music end, but this, when you can actually, you can touch it, you can feel it, and like, hey, this was inspired.
Yeah.
You know, by you and your music and your whole entire style.
Pretty much. And also his work with, you know, the whole sobriety thing, and he's one of those people that's like, well, if he can do it, anyone can do it, kind of. And he's just, I think he's just a cool person.
Now,
so hopefully at some point I'll get to give it to him. Who knows?
Now this has been some great work that I've been seeing here so far. In fact, I know being in here today, it actually is kind of familiar to me, especially when I get to see an item like this here. Can you tell me about this particular special piece of work?
This was the first piece that actually Al Bain and I did together.
Al Bain for leather. Correct?
Yes, Al Bain for leather. He basically, that was his pattern. and we decided to do something together. And we were at the leather store that day, and I saw this beautiful sparkly leather that was so soft and so supple, and I was like, jacket. That needs to be something that we make. So we made that, and that's basically was the product of our efforts.
The collaboration together.
Our collaboration.
Now, do you mind if I open this up? Because this was open before, and I got to see some of the inlay on this. And if you get to check this out, it's amazing. It's all lined with, it's like skull keys, which looks really great. I mean, look at the artwork that's done to this. I mean, artwork, craftsmanship, time. Tell me about this. This is amazing here. I mean, I took this off. I was like, my jaw dropped. Just seeing this, it was great to see. Like, one of those things, just like, wow.
Well, I figure if you're going to buy a custom jacket, it might as well be all custom. So that means the inside and the out. I like the idea of, little secret things.
Yeah, that little something.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like Alexander McQueen did the same thing. He made a jacket that had his hair that was in the lining. I love those little. Yeah,
Are you serious?
Yeah, it was very. So that has inspired me. Alexander McQueen is a huge inspiration to me. So basically, what I did is I had these different fabrics that had skulls on them, or skeleton parts, and I started kind of looking at them, and I'm like, those look like butterflies to me. Like they literally look like butterfly wings and butterfly parts.
Yeah,
and I was like, I'm gonna put this together. True.
And what's great about people like Pam, there's so much custom work that's out there. I mean, you get to see something that can be built and made just for you. I mean, use your creativity. You can get with someone like Pam here and collaborate, or just throw some thoughts together, and just the beauty and the artwork of all of this is just amazing. It's
well, that's why I
can't stop staring at it. At times I'm just like, can we swing this around? So I want to turn this around, just because the work on this, even on the front section,
that's hard to move.
is wait.
Well, that's why I always say to people, because people are, oh, fashion designer. I'm like, I'm not a fashion designer. I'm a fashion artist. I like that label better, because I consider what I do to be, it's more about art than kind of the fashion, so to speak. And most of the times when I make something, it's way ahead. So I'll make it, and then it becomes like, like, people are like, oh, even when I was a teenager, I was making stuff. And then all of a sudden, a year later, it's in, the similar things are all over the place. And I'm just like, uh-huh.
I mean, I'm looking at this. This is amazing. I was totally blown away when I opened up and saw the inside on that. And look at this. See, these ones aren't lined, so that's what's great about that jacket, is that it's lined, so it kind of hides your sins a little bit. This one is not lined, so I had to think inside and out in this, and that's why it's a sample, because I'm still kind of trying to figure out what looks the most elegant and finished. I mean, I'm seeing all this, and as you mentioned, the element line between fire and water here. I mean, I'm blown away. I'm just blown away, and I know what everyone's been going through this past year. Yeah. It's affected, businesses, like everyone in the entertainment industry, music, and that bit. And it's not always just all the big stars that you get to see that get all the glamour and the acclaim of it. There's a lot of people like Pam. That's a lot of behind the scenes things, where you're making, great artwork and great pieces, and it slows them down as well. So we're trying to here, helping Pam and Al Bain, giving them that little extra exposure, so you can get things like this done. I mean, why not? You don't always have to go to some department store. There's a lot of great people out there that make some great custom work, and you can get some great, beautiful, and amazing products like this, and something that's actually a part of you as well.
Well, that's the thing with the reason I started. Number one, I wanted to make these because this was all fabric that initially was bought to make masks, because that's what I started doing, was making masks at the beginning of all this stuff, and then that kind of slowed down because people. you know, for better or for worse, they're kind of tired of looking at masks. And then I kind of turned my attention, so I started using fabrics that I wouldn't normally use for things, and kind of took a second look at them, or third look, and thought, you know what, I can do something cool with this. I can definitely do something cool. And that's what this is. It's just a reimagining of what I already had, because we're, you know, so much is shut down, and now, you know, and plus what's cool too is that it's not leather. So a leather jacket is $500, you know, $600, $700, and $1,000, you know, whatever, just because of the materials alone. This is a $200 jacket. It's a little more affordable, you know.
And it's lighter.
It's lighter weight. It is lined, so it's not. You're not going to be freezing, but it's definitely more affordable. So I wanted to create, that's also why I started doing the t-shirts, is I wanted to create things that people could buy without thinking like, oh my God, I can't pay my rent if I buy this, you know? But it's still, it's good to be able to treat yourself and get some, like a little something nice.
Yeah, or a gift. Yeah.
Or a gift, yeah. It's something that's, it's a little bit more affordable. And nobody else is gonna have it, because I probably, like, none of these jackets will be the same.
Yeah,
like, even if I do another water themed jacket, it won't have exactly this configuration.
Now, and this configuration is great. This is I love seeing work like this. It's things like this that even inspire me in a sense. You trying to do something different, or just expand your horizons in that bit. But it's just great work, and you know. This is great work, it's great product, and it's great quality. I mean, and a lot of hard work and time goes into products like this. I mean, it's just, look how many different patterns, all the different things that that you put together to make this. I mean, that is passion. That's a lot of passion when you're going to like, okay, I'm just going to take this section, you know what, I'm going to do something different for this and that, and just to make it all.
And they're all based on that leather jacket pattern is this. So this one has the action back. That's what that strip is in the you know, so it actually opens up there. This one doesn't. So they're a little bit different. I was kind of exploring a little bit.
Yeah, but that's all
that's part of the art.
Of the craft. Yeah, exactly, part of the art with it. I mean, to have something like this and be able to make something like this, I'm jealous in a sense, because I have no artistic creativity in any way, shape, or form like that.
Yeah.
And to see something like this is just simply mind-blowing. I mean, I couldn't even come close to doing that. And you gave me 20 years, I can't even make something like that.
Well, I already had some skills, and then Al Bain is, you know, taught me an amazing amount about sewing. Consider I never went to school for sewing. I never did that. I only did a one costuming class in college, and that they kind of left me alone because they just saw me working, and they're like, oh, she knows what she's doing. I really didn't know what I was doing, but just learning like the little tiny tricks and the ins and outs, and being able to use all of this amazing equipment is, you know, it really like takes, like, if you're here in your game, it kind of goes.
So it's been a good thing working with Alan, kind of collaborating and access to more.
Access to, like, I don't know. We must have. I was about to say we must have 100 machines here, but it's a lot, and he's got so, like, because of years of, you know, you just collect tools over the years. It's, you know, that everybody who has, you know, who say works on cars or does it, they're like, oh, I've had this tool since I was 15. It's kind of like one of those things.
Yeah.
So we have so many tools at our disposal that it's like, it kind of forces my brain, well, how can I use all this different stuff? You know, like what different can I do? How can I reimagine something that I would have made differently 5 years ago? You know?
No, very true. Very tricky. Once you have that new toy to work with something, all of a sudden,
like, oh my God,
you might approach it different than Al would.
Yeah, well, I approach everything pretty much differently than he does. Well, because he's like, it's like a drafter, somebody who drafts, you know, like buildings and architects and stuff. That mind, and then me, I'm just like, I'm the Pollock there, just you know, splattering paint and, you know, doing it all over the place and seeing the patterns in the chaos, so to speak. So I'm not good with numbers. not good. I can do basic math, but I'm not very good with numbers. And but you talk to me about color and all of that stuff. I have better. It's really weird, but I have better than 20/20 vision. So my dad used to take me with him to look at stones because I could see the imperfections, and people were like, you'd have to use a loop, and I could see them. So color plays a huge role in my life, and I think I see it a little bit more. So, because he'll argue with, like, Al will argue with me about what color something is. I'm like, no, that's purple. It's brown. It's purple. It's brown. I'm telling you, I know it's purple. So it's, it's I'm very color oriented, and it's just like sometimes it's almost overwhelming. But that's why it's as much as I love like the vampire thing and the black and the gothic and all that stuff. I always get drawn back to color, no matter how hard I try to stay away from it, because it's just like I'm like, oh.
It's just a natural feeling, right?
Yeah, it's just there. I'm just like, oh. Like it's like eating good food.
Oh yes.
Good
you're
way
just
to
like,
put it.
Good, yeah.
It feeds your soul.
Yeah, you want to try something new, but you're always going to go back to old reliable.
Yeah. That and also just I love new stuff, so it's just that's why learning with Al has been really a thing, because it's like I actually want to learn what he has to teach.
He's extremely gifted in what he does at his craft. I mean,
exactly.
I've seen hundreds of pieces of his work, and it just goes,
holy shit.
damn. And what I like about between you and Al, it's also quality. It's quality, and you take a lot of pride in what you do, because your guys' your name goes on it, Al's name goes on it, and if you're putting your name on it, you better have you got to step your game up.
Yeah.
And you guys definitely do, because the quality's there, the product is there. Just it's a complete package, top to bottom. I can't get my eyes off of this one. This one I really.
Well, the funny part is that Al actually did this fringe was from another project, and it was kind of garbage, and he's just like, oh, you want it? And I'm like, sure, I'll save it for something.
Yeah.
And then it was just, the funny part was it really was meant for this project, because it was just enough for these sleeves.
Nice.
Just enough. Like I no more and no less. Like it literally was perfect.
Now the work on that it's just amazing. Now for the people out there who are watching and listening, how can people find you?
Yes.
Social media wise.
Social media. So
websites.
I'm on Instagram at Vampire_Rockstar. I'm also on Facebook. You can find me. I think it's Pamela Blackheart on Facebook. And I do have a website that's www.vampirerockstar.com. And yeah, pretty much.
Hey, I want to thank you guys for having us get in here. Oh, I did forget, there is one last thing we do need to mention that's very important. There's a new thing out there. Was it Red Alert?
Red Alert and WeMakeEvents.com?
Yeah, WeMakeEvents.org. It's helping, hopefully, Congress open up more things for the entertainment industry. We want people to check that out. I knew this place looked familiar, right?
Yeah. There's all of this crap.
Does it come down? Are we going to do that?
Whatever you want.
There you go.
Just so you know where we're at.
Yeah.
Check the
Straps.
Yeah.
Strap madness.
Strap madness.
because we are here.
Guitar strap madness.
It goes up to this one right here. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh wait.
That's the fun one.
Check this out. Total Wasp inspired, Black Lady Lawless inspired, with the nice little chain, not the chainsaw, but the nice little saw blades on this. Look at all these collection.
Eat it, PMRC.
Beautiful straps. Oh, the black on the black with the star. Oh, that's. Hey, my son has a beautiful one like this.
Oh yeah.
Man, just amazing. We're on C4OC Radio. Check out
VampireRockstar.com.
great clothing. Hey, thanks, Pam, for getting us in here today.
Thank you for coming.
Right.
All this.
Give everybody a wave.
Hey, thank you guys. Woo-hoo!